You wake up on day one and the sky is the same color. It was yesterday. You know it will be the same color tomorrow. And you do not care anymore. Because you have decided that nothing matters. Not your job, not your relationships, not the future. You have volunteered to become a test case in your own mind. The question is not whether you can survive meaninglessness. It is whether your brain will rebel against it. Most people think nihilism is a philosophy you adopt. It is not. It is a cage you build and then climb inside to see if the bars are real or just shadows. 30 days. Systematically dismantling every structure of meaning in life to answer a question that neuroscience has not fully answered. Does the human brain naturally generate purpose, or is purpose only real when we decide it is? What happens when you stop deciding? Day one feels like freedom. You cancel the plans you did not want to make anyway. You skip the gym because growth is an illusion. You will be dead someday, so why add muscle to a corpse? You look at your apartment and think about how absurd it is that you have spent money decorating a temporary shelter. The relief is immediate, like putting down a weight you did not know you were carrying. But then your brain starts whispering something dangerous. If nothing matters, why not just stay in bed? That whisper becomes important later. By day 4, something shifts. You are not depressed yet. That would require caring. You are hollow. You shower because the smell becomes noticeable, not because hygiene matters. You eat because hunger is a signal, not because food has any value. The sensations are still there, the hot water, the taste of salt, but they are disconnected from meaning. It is like watching yourself live from 3 feet away. Neuroscientists call this depersonalization. Your brain is doing exactly what it does when meaning systems collapse. It creates distance. It is a defense mechanism, though you do not feel defended. You feel erasable. The real terror starts on day 9. You are sitting in a coffee shop because you were thirsty, not because you wanted to treat yourself or deserve a break. Those narratives have evaporated. A couple across from you is arguing about wedding plans. From your new angle, it is hilarious and heartbreaking simultaneously. They are fighting over the shape of a grave marker. But here's what happens. You feel alone. Not lonely, alone. The feeling has texture, weight, and you realize something that the nihilist texts never mention. Isolation is not just emotional, it is neurological. Your brain has a system called the default mode network. It is most active when you are not focused on external tasks. It is the part that generates narrative, meaning, and self. When you systematically reject all narratives, when you decide that your identity is a story told by neurons, that your values are evolutionary accidents, that your relationships are chemical feedback loops, your default mode network starts to malfunction. You are experiencing what philosophers call the void, but neuroscientists would call it a system starved of its primary fuel, coherent narrative. By day 16, you test yourself. You try to access old motivations. You think about someone you love and ask yourself, do you love them? Or do you just have attachment programming? The honest answer destroys something. You realize you have been operating on 2 systems simultaneously. The intellectual system that says love is neurochemistry, and the embodied system that just loves. They are both true. This is the trap nobody warns you about. The more you think about why something matters, the more it does not. Consciousness eats its own scaffolding. You start to notice a pattern. On days when you engage in something intrinsically pointless, scrolling, watching television, staring at a wall, the void deepens. On days when you do something physical, something that requires your whole attention, climbing stairs, washing dishes, walking somewhere with no destination, there is a crack in the void. Light gets through. Your brain does not seem to want you to believe in meaninglessness. It keeps generating small moments that feel meaningful, whether you grant them permission or not. By day 22, you understand the trap, and this is where it gets dark. Meaninglessness is not false. It is incomplete. The nihilist is right. Nothing has inherent cosmic significance. No higher power handed you a purpose. The universe does not care if you exist. This is all provable. But the nihilist is also wrong, and this is the part that keeps you up at night, because your brain is a meaning-making machine, and you cannot turn it off by thinking hard enough. You cannot intellectualize your way out of biology. You can suppress the meaning-making, but that suppression costs energy. Constant, exhausting energy. Meaninglessness is not freedom. It is a different kind of prison, one where the guard is your own thinking mind and the prisoner is your embodied self, which keeps trying to matter anyway. On day 28, something breaks the experiment entirely. You are walking and you see a child learning to ride a bicycle. The parent is running alongside, hand on the seat, and then the hand lets go. The child pedals forward. Something in your chest moves. You can call it neurochemistry, you can call it evolutionary conditioning, but the naming does not touch what happened, meaning flooded back. Not because you decided to believe in it again, but because you watched something fragile learn to balance itself. That is the real discovery. The nihilist texts tell you that meaning is an illusion. True. But they do not tell you that meaning is also irrepressible. Like water finding cracks in stone, your brain will generate purpose the moment you stop actively crushing it. You can intellectually reject meaning all you want. Your nervous system has other plans. And the cruelest part of the month is not the nihilism. It is discovering that the antidote to nihilism is not argument or faith. It is attention. The moment you stop asking why things matter and simply notice that they matter to you, in your body, in your choices, in the way your eyes linger, the void does not disappear, but it transforms. It becomes ground. You chose meaning again, not because you convinced yourself it was real, but because meaning chose you first. The experiment ends because you realize it never actually works. You cannot opt out of being a creature that cares. The bars were never real, but neither were the shadows. Remember, because personal transformation doesn't happen through a single insight. It happens through continuous reflection, conscious action, and the courage to keep learning what it means to be human. If you're seeking wisdom, inner growth, emotional resilience, and practical tools for living a more examined and meaningful life, you're in the right place. See you in the next upcoming video.